Okay, so I haven't made a video for a long time now, which I apologise about. The little Red Rover is running well. The 1.4 engine that I put in it really runs sweet, real nice little engine, but it just ain't got no smile factor. So I bought this fella. This is a 1.8 variable valve fuel injected engine, and it'd been sat. It's supposedly in really good condition, but I'm afraid it wasn't, and it had a bit of moisture sat inside of it. So I've had to put new liners, piston rings, I've put big ends, main bearings and all that happy stuff, because I figured, look, if you got it apart you may as well do it. It's quite a neat little engine. I have a bad reputation for head gasket failure. The liners tend to sink, so you don't get no sealing. But these new liners are a little bit better than the old ones. They're just about 3 thou proud, so that'll seal alright. But they're quite a novel engine in some ways. It's a bit like a motorcycle engine. They've got stretch bolts that go all the way through, and just above the sump is an oil rail that's a bang, oh crap, a bit like this. I've cut this one out so I could bolt all the big end bearings up. The one pain in the ass with this engine is that when they machine the block they clamp it, so when they release it, it springs. So unless you re-clamp it with a few bolts, you can't turn the crank. So as soon as I come to put the head on this and take these studs out, you can move the crank, but it don't do a lot of good. And this is the head, the famous variable valve head. It's got a unit either side on the inlet, a little hydraulic valve. That's the piston, which operates through a rod which goes between the two units, and each pair of lobes, well, one runs inside the other, so they're all separate. So it can vary with the duration of the cam lift, depending on engine load, revs and all that happy stuff. Produces good power. This thing will produce about, it's rated as a 143. They also do a 160 version, and then a lot of difference between them. See, this end is where the main cam belt goes, water pump and all that lot. This end is just two pulleys and a belt runs between them, so the exhaust is really driving this inlet side. 4 valves per cylinder obviously, and all that stuff. Tarted up the cam cover. It should be all matte black. Got some bigger brakes to go on there, painted with Neil's famous black paint and some 2K lacquer. Gotta get some bigger wheels first though before they'll fit. New head gasket. This is the one that was on there. Don't think it failed. Oh, that bit don't look too good. Called it elastomer, but I'm putting one of the newer style ones on, multi-layer steel. And a head saving shim. I don't know if that's because I've had it skimmed to keep the compression right, or whether it stops the fire rings from hammering into the head a bit, because it tends to dent the head on these. Then I've got to work out how to wire it up, because this being fuel injected, it's got a ECM and all that stuff, whereas at the moment we've got a carburetor on it. But it's slow going. Every time I come out here to do a bit, I always seem to find other things to do, and it just gets, well, you know how it goes. Anyway, I'll try and keep you updated. Cheers guys.